Hello and welcome. So we have in the standard xy coordinate plane below, we have the vertices of a square with the coordinates 0, 0, 0, comma, negative 8, 8, negative 8, as well as 8, 0. And then which of the following is an equation of the circle that is inscribed in the square? So we have ourselves a square, all right? Here's our square. Okay, and inside that square we have a circle, and we want to know what is the equation of this circle. Well, the equation of any general circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared, where h and k are the 2 points of, or the 2 values, I should say, of your center. So the center of any circle is h, comma, k. So essentially, you're looking at the shift values where, because it's minus in the equation, you're using the opposite of whatever value it is. So whatever the center of the circle is, wherever that is, that's where we will find our h comma k values. And then the r stands for your radius, right? So then we have to know the distance from the center to some point on the outside of the circle, right, on that circumference. And that's all we need to create this equation. So in order to find the center, that's where we use the vertices of the square, because we know that the vertices are in a few different places. First off, let's find the x-coordinate. So if the x-coordinate of the left side is 0, the right side is 8, then we know the center has to be smack dab in the middle of those. Well, what's the middle of 0 and 8? 4. Right? We know that 4 is between 0 and 8. That's halfway there. So 8 plus 0 divided by 2, that's 8 over 2. In other words, 4, right? That's the halfway point. Likewise, you can do that for the y-coordinate, right? We know the y-coordinate is from 0 to negative 8, which means the halfway point, right? Halfway point is going to be negative 4 for that one, right? Because we have 0 plus our negative 8, half of that. So negative 8 halves, negative 4. That means your center is 4 comma negative 4. So that means we have x minus, because our center is 4 negative 4, which means when we plug it in, here's our h, here's our k, right? So we plug it in, we have x minus our h, which is 4 squared, plus y minus our k, which is negative 4 squared. And when you have subtracting and negative, that is the exact same thing as just adding that number, and then equals your radius squared. Now we also know our radius. This one's not that bad either. We know that the middle point where our center is to the outside, right? We know the center is at 4. We know that over here is 8. What's the distance? How do we go from 4 to 8? 4, right? That means that is your radius. You have a radius of 4. You can do the exact same thing going vertically as well, right? Here's negative 4. Here's 0, right? Halfway. That's 4. Right? Distance of 4. Distance is always positive. Okay, so that means your r equals 4. Right? So that means that your radius is 4 squared, or in other words, 16. Right? Remember, 4 squared is 4 times 4. That's why it's 16 and not 8. So then you look at all your equations below. There's only one of them that fits the bill. So from there, I'd say, okay, we have x minus 4 on a couple of these, which means we know it's automatically not those two. We have y plus 4 on all of them. Now the only one is the correct radius squared. 4 squared, 16, and that very last option is our final answer. And that's it. That is your equation of a circle. Thanks for watching.